Aloha, Scott Sylvan Bell coming to you live from Sacramento, California. May 30th, 2016, 2:35 in the afternoon. Perfect day to talk about best books for salespeople and entrepreneurs. I got Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss and Tahl Raz, okay? And you're like, all right, Scott, so you got a book. Now here's the thing. I got this thing delivered when I was out in Hawaii last week, and I said, all right, I'm gonna read this book. So I read it on the plane, and I'm sitting there, and I'm on my seat, and it was riveting. People are like, how was the book? Fascinating and riveting all at the same time. Now I gotta let you know, at this point in my life, I've read a lot of books on negotiation, a lot of books on sales tactics, and this book is the real deal. And you're like, well, why would I want to get a book from a guy named Chris Voss? The guy was a hostage negotiator for the FBI. Probably a good thing to know, right? So what does that have to do with business? Everything. Like if you got to negotiate for somebody's life, that's an intangible product, right? And you're sitting there talking back and forth with people. Now, I want to get into a couple of things about how this book will help you out. Now, I gotta let you know, I'm a huge fan of Jim Camp. Now, Jim Camp passed away about 1.5 years ago. Brilliant negotiator, wrote the book Start With No, and was totally against win-win. Now, this book has nothing to do with win-win, which I love because I'm not a big fan of win-win. But there's some stuff in here that I picked up, and I'm like, wow, I never really thought about that application for persuading people. Now, one of the concepts you got to pick up is whoever has the most amount of time in a negotiation is going to win. And your job when you're with somebody or negotiating against them is to slow down the time. You're like, but Scott, how would I do that? Well, that's in the book. It tells you how to ask open-ended questions to get the person to start giving you information. Now, a lot of times you're like, well, if I ask this question this way, it's going to reveal my position and it's going to give up some of my power. But the way that this book does it with asking open-ended questions is fantastic. Now, there's another concept in here, and like when I read it, I was like, whoa, time out, let me read that again. I read the section on here on getting people to say that's right 3 different times. Now, I'd love to tell you why you need to do that, but you really got to pick up the book. Now, the things that are cool about this book, is that there's stories that go along, like this is what played down. These were the hostages in the Philippines. These were the hostages in Ecuador, Colombia. This was a drug dealing hostage situation, and this is what I learned. That's like one of the best stories and questions are 2 of the best ways to learn, and they're in the book. Now, I don't know, a couple years ago, Pitch Anything came out, and I'm like, everybody's got to get that book. Everybody had to get Pitch Anything. And that book, amazing. This book, you got to pick it up. I guarantee you this. Out of 260 pages, you're going to get something out of here and go, I can apply that to my business. I can apply that to my sales immediately and make something happen. And sometimes you read a book and you're like, 260 pages. Is there anything in here that's really good? There's stuff in here from Kevin Dutton, brilliant guy. He wrote a book called Split Second Persuasion. There's stuff in here from Jim Camp, who wrote Start With No. There's all sorts of stuff in here about body language that I know about that's accurate. That's like, wow, he got it right. The Moravian study, and then talking about the Pinocchio effect. These are all things you got to check out. These are things you got to know. Now, one of the coolest things that's in this book is how to mirror people. Now, in body language, they tell you, if somebody touches their chin, you touch their chin. And if somebody rubs their ear, then you rub your ear. If somebody crosses their leg, you cross their leg. But you can actually mirror people through words. And there's a cool way in the book that teaches you how to mirror people through their words so that you can build some better rapport with them. That is amazing. Never Split the Difference. I'm going to give this book like a 6 out of 5 stars. You got to pick it up. You got to check it out. It's awesome. 260 pages of brilliance. Check it out. Now, if you could do a small favor for me, in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story. That'd be fantastic. To the right, to the left, there's a subscribe button. You know what you got to do. Come on, you know what you got to do. You got to subscribe. And then you can send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, why not even LinkedIn. Scott Sylvan Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.